Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host, Justin B., and with my MVP, billion-dollar co-host, Miss Shannon Finch. This is episode 151 for the YouTube version. For the audio version of season 2, episode 51. The links for the audio description is right there below in the description. We're basically on any audio platform. All you gotta do is type in Talking Ravens all day, every day, and it'll pop right on up for those who can't watch live. Right underneath for that, it's myself, Shannon, and Dave's social media platforms. Like I say, every show I have everything. Shannon has Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. David, Instagram and Facebook. So today we're doing our recap of Week 18 game Clinton AFC back-to-back North title. We
hmm
stomped the Browns 35-10. It didn't start off the prettiest, but hey, the game ultimately ended up like everybody expected, ass whooping. So I'm
hmm
going to let Miss Shannon get started and take the floor.
So yeah, Jason, I'm Justin. You said everything I was going to say as far as starting off this show, back-to-back champs again, in a very tough division. We know how competitive a division is, so anytime you can win this division, it's nothing to sneeze at. And especially with how this season went for us, it's definitely a year that I'm proud to be AFC North champs this year. But give me your good, bad, and ugly for Week 18.
Week 18. I'll start with I'll start with the good. The defense was phenomenal. Like, only gave up 10 points, and really shouldn't give up that. Brandon Stevens was getting targeted for some odd reason. So
We know why.
yeah, he's like I said, all everybody can say turn up the head. You can say that, but you don't do it. It's like how many times you want to keep yelling it? Like I'm at this point, I'm just ready for him to be set down with Marcus Williams and the rest of the guys. Like he's not special for you to keep putting out there. You got more than enough corner depth. But anyway, the defense, Michael Pierce, big man interception. I'm a defensive lineman. I love saying that. And now I get why he slipped, because if he kept going and somebody stripped the ball from him, we all would have been mad. Why didn't he just go down? So he did the
hmm
absolute right thing. I got your back, Big Mike. D line, we're gonna stick together. Yeah,
hmm
I'm surprised he caught the motherfucker, honestly. So
Yeah, I didn't even know who caught it. I was like, who did that? I was like, oh.
exactly, you got that on tape. He might end up having to play in the XFL or something after that. But the run game, of course, I mean, never outstanding performance. Started off a little slow, but like I said, they get paid too, so they weren't just gonna make it as easy as we thought it was gonna be. They still playing for jobs and other stuff too. So like
Mhm.
Miles was said, we weren't just gonna roll over, and they didn't at first. So you know, kudos to the Browns for that. But Derrick Henry over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Um, the offensive play calling got better as the game went on. Lamar got better as the game went on. Had a few drops at first. He overshot Derrick Henry one time. And that's it. And as far as bad, just missed opportunities, basically. That's all I really got to say. We really could have had 49 points potentially with two going for it twice. Hopefully in the playoffs we'll just take the points. Because like I said, it's just too that's too like I said, I get why you did it against the Browns, because like I said, we was playing with a little bit of house money, kind of sorta. Um
Mhm.
playoffs definitely take those points, and I think they will. Missed opportunities for us bad and ugly. Injuries, man. Zay Flowers injury. And still I clean up certain penalties, and that's it. I really ain't had too much bad nothing on my end.
Yeah, I agree. We pretty much had the same thing. For good, I put the defense. I thought they was pretty good all game. Even with the late touchdown, they pretty much kept them to 3 points majority of the game. So that was good. The offense, once they got going, like you said, it was a slow start, but once they got going, it was everything we needed them to be. Bad, I put Zay Flowers injury. We didn't know at that point how bad it was. Luckily, it's not season ending, but he is kind of day to day, week to week, I guess, at this point. So we don't know if he's going to play yet on Saturday. He hasn't been ruled out, but he didn't practice today. So that's not a good sign, but doesn't mean he can't play. And for the ugly eye penalties, like you said, we had cleaned it up over the past couple of weeks. Really didn't have any ugly, wasn't complaining about penalties since the Eagles game. And they came out this week, and it seemed like bad habits came back with that. I think we had about 10. So you definitely don't want to go into the playoffs still playing undisciplined like that, because it'll definitely cost us games. But like you said, I don't really have too much to say because it was really a good game overall. Certain things we can point to, but the worst was just Zay going down and the penalties. That was really bad.
Agreed.
All right, so let's move on to the position grades. What grade did you give the coaches?
Overall, like I said, the defense only allowed 10 points. Offense put up 35 points. The special teams weren't bad. The rounds didn't get no big returns. We had some decent returns, and Tuck, made all those extra points. So, ain't really getting. So, everybody get A in my book.
I gave him an A as well. Early on, the Browns defense was making it a game. But this is a division game. They could if they could do something to rain on anybody's parade in the division, they're going to do that, and they tried to. But we did weather the storm offensively. So once we got going, it was what we thought it was going to be. Like we said about the defense, they play very well. You hold them to 3 points for the majority of the game. You get a touchdown in the fourth quarter. We can eat that at that point because we knew we had the game in the bag. And special teams, like you said, we got some good returns. Justin Tucker did his job. Can't really complain about anything. So the coaches get an A from me as well. And what grade did you give Lamar?
Mm, B plus. Was a few drops, but a couple of times we get to just you know, put the ball in there. He was just trying to zoom in and that, just little stuff like that. But overall, yeah,
Hmm.
2 touchdowns. It's just more so B plus because of the two missed opportunities. Like I said, if you just take your time and hit Derrick Henry in stride, he walks it for a touchdown. But
Hmm.
B plus.
And I gave him an A. I feel like Lamar did Lamar things, like you mentioned, the issues and the mistakes that he made that I'm pretty sure he would want to have back. But he passed for over 200 yards. He had two touchdowns. He rushed for about 60 something yards. And that's what we need from Lamar, to be successful a lot of the times in these games, particularly in the playoffs. Like you gotta put your best foot forward. And I feel like, once they got going, Lamar did just that. So I gave him an A.
Okay.
And what grade did you give the running backs?
A plus. A plus. Keaton Mitchell had some runs. Derrick Henry stole the show. Did his thing. Had a couple key catches over 100 yards. Like I said, two rushing touchdowns. Should have had three touchdowns this game, but it is what it is. But yeah, A plus.
Yeah, I give him an A plus as well. For everything you said. That's not to repeat the same thing, but I agree. They had a good day. Derrick Henry, he's rubbing back up just in time for the playoffs, so we need that. He had a great game. And what grade did you give the offensive line?
They get an A. Only a few little penalties probably stopped them getting A plus, but they open up holes. Lamar didn't get sacked a whole lot to my knowledge. I think Miles Garrett only made
I
a
didn't
few.
see any. Yeah, I didn't see any sacks.
I mean, but I just seen a few pressures. Like I said, Miles Garrett is one of the best edge rushers in the league, if not the best. So he's going to make his fair share. Yeah, overall did a pretty good job. So I'll say A.
I give him an A as well. They kept Lamar clean. They blocked well. You can't ask for a better day. I mean, and like you said, Miles Garrett is one of the best, if not the best, on the other side of the field. So they had a great day considering who the opponent was.
Yeah, agreed.
And what grade did you give the wide receivers and tight ends?
A. Mark Andrews was balling. Bateman was balling. Zay made a few plays before he got hurt. Likely made some plays. So yeah, they get A.
It seems like we got the same report card again this week because I gave him an A as well. Nobody panicked when they went down. Bateman stepped up. We got a touchdown out of Bateman. We talked about, what happens when he gets a touchdown. Mark Andrews scored another touchdown. He leads all tight ends and touchdowns on the season. They had a great day, so I give him an A as well. And what grade did you give the defensive line?
Uh, Give them an A plus. I ain't rushing no 100 yards or nothing like that. They stopped. I know Chubb didn't play, but Deontay Foreman and all them guys didn't do much. Bailey Zappi got pressured, and Dorian Thompson Robinson. That's how Nate got the pick, and then Michael. No, A plus. I'm scratching A plus, and then my man Michael Pierce got picked. So yeah, A plus.
And I give them A plus as well. For everything you said, they got pressure, they got an interception, the run game was non-existent. Like they did everything you can ask for your defensive line to do. So they get an A plus. And what grade did you give the linebackers?
Uh, I get A+. They didn't give up a whole lot. Atkins had a few catches, but nothing crazy. But they stopped the run pretty well, and they was getting into a passing lane. So I give them A+.
Same A+ as well for the linebackers. And to add on to what you said, that group had 2 sacks as well. We always gotta count them for the run game as well. And like you said, no big plays were given up, so they get an A+. And what grade did you give the defensive backs?
A+. Interception for 6. Kept the Browns on a 200 yards passing. Only one little bullshit touchdown at the end. No receiver really went off. So A+. Like I said, only one DB was getting targeted. We know who that is. So
Hmm.
Arlen and Nate and Cal and guys were doing their job. Darius too. He almost had an interception. So they get an A+ in my book. That is so hard to keep any. I don't care if it's Bailey Zappi, Nick Foles, Uncle Rico. I don't care who the quarterback is. This is a passing league. The rules are designed
Hmm.
to pass, and they still hold the team. Only one passing touchdown, which they got in the end, and 102 yards passing. Absolutely.
Hmm. And I gave him A+ as well. Shout out to Nate Wiggins, got his first interception. We know that he could have a whole lot more. And it was a pick six, right? Pick six as well. First interception was a pick six. And we know he could have had a lot more throughout the year, but that's a learning curve for him. But he got this one in this game. And everything you said, I echo everything you said. They had a great game as well. Brandon Stevens, the thing about Brandon Stevens at this point is opposing teams know that it's a 50-50 chance you're going to get a penalty going against him or a big play might be made. Like, that's just what it is. And if we were going against a cornerback like that, where it was like a 50-50 chance of something happening either way, I would hope that Lamar would also pick on him as well. So with Brandon Stevens, is like, there's nothing to defend. He is hip and hip. He be right there. But like you said, at this point, if you can bench other guys who doing particular things, why not bench him? But yeah, like it is what it is. Let's just hope. And that's like we can't even really. He's been doing it all season, right? So if it happens in the playoffs, we're all going to be angry because it's like whatever. But at the same time, it's been happening all year. So then you're going to look back at the coaches like, well, why didn't you replace him? Because you replaced everybody else that was not having good games, good seasons. So it'll be interesting to see. But let's hope for the next couple of games that we may have, he's better at his job.
Yeah, the piggyback up there, you said now a safety that's making $70 million with no problem, and it's warranted too. As much as I like him, it was definitely warranted because he wasn't playing well. But Brandon Stevens don't nowhere near makes that amount of money. Like I'm trying to figure out you got TJ Tampa back, but I think it's healthy now. You got enough depth now where you can go and see him now and that gonna hurt you. I'm confused. And Darius can play in the nickel and all that too. So I'm just trying to figure
Hmm.
out did he wash your car or something like what's going
They
on?
might not want to. They might not have wanted to put all that on Nate Wiggins early, but he's playing well.
Hey, look, man, you can on God bench him, but slide him down as further as you can. Put him in the box if you got to. There's other ways you can put him out there.
Use him, yeah. And what grade did you give special teams?
They get A+. I mean, that's that simple. And Tuck made all those extra points. No bad kickoffs, good punts, good returns. So yeah, I think we ain't really punt the ball much, honestly.
Um, I gave him an A. I feel like you said, Tucker made all his. We didn't even kick any field goals, did we? I don't remember.
Extra point.
But he made all his extra points. Like you said, we had some good returns. Nothing to really complain about on special teams, and I'm kind of happy about that, particularly the past couple of weeks because that's been an issue all season, and you want to be playing your best football going into the playoffs. So let's just be happy or glad that that side of the football is playing a lot better because we'll definitely need them in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
All right, so in the middle of the season, we did mid-season awards, Ravens edition. So we're done with this regular season now. So let's do it again for the end of the season. Some of the awards might say the same, some might be different. But let's start with Offensive Rookie of the Year. Justin, who is your Offensive Rookie of the Year?
They gotta go to Roger Rosengarten. It's just that simple. Whatever rookie on offense has produced. You see what I mean? Tez
Same.
Walker only got one touchdown. Rasheen Ali just getting enough over. So My Roger Rosengarten, like that's just case closed.
Yeah, that's pretty easy right there. He's been great. Once they put him in, we can see why they drafted him, and we know we got a right tackle for the future. So definitely offensive rookie of the year. What about defensive rookie of the year? Who's your defensive rookie of the year?
This person right here, last controller said Nate Wiggins. Yes, he only got one interception, but zero touchdowns, and he got a lot of pass breakups, and he's up there in all the statistical cover stuff. So Nate Wiggins, like I said, if he'd have held on to a few more of those picks, he would have been in the running for defensive rookie of the year.
Hmm. Same, Nate Wiggins. He has more touchdowns than he allowed. You know what I mean? Like, we were high on him in the draft. We both were kind of surprised that he was even available for us at that point, and we weren't mad at the pick. So I'm happy to have him and can't wait to see, how he progresses next year.
Absolutely.
And what about comeback player of the year? Who would you give that to?
Mm, mm, mm. I'm gonna give it to Mark Andrews. Yes, Ronnie has been great, but Mark Andrews double digit touchdowns. I think he has 11. So yeah, definitely Mark Andrews.
Mid-season, I say Ronnie Stanley. At the end of the season, I'm saying Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews left last season with an injury, came in this off season, had a car accident, missed some time in practice, started out kind of slow in the season, to the point where people were even talking about trading him. Me and you both said absolutely not. And I'm glad that we both stood on that. And the Ravens did listen to the fans because he is Mark Andrews. He's Mandrews. Like he did everything that we would expect of him. And even with a slow start, he's still ending the season with the most touchdowns of any tight end in the league. So how can he not be comeback player of the year? But Ronnie Stanley definitely did his thing this year. And I didn't realize that the way he restructured his contract, he's going to be a free agent this offseason. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out with him and us and how that goes. But Mark Andrews is definitely comeback player of the year.
For sure.
And what about coach of the year? Who would you give coach of the year to?
Todd Monken. Todd Monken, because this offense is rolling because of him. People say Lamar, whatever, but now Lamar had Greg Roman, it still was good, but it wasn't this good. So Todd Monken. And I mean,
Yeah.
Harbaugh, but Harbaugh's always and how all teams are always competitive. So it's he doesn't really need no, and he's always been coach of the year, so he don't need any more validation or recognition. Everybody knows he's a good coach. He's just getting his own way sometimes. Uh,
Hmm.
Todd Monken for me.
I'm going again with T. Martin. I feel like T. Martin has done a great job with Lamar Jackson. I understand that, Lamar has done well in Monken's offense, period. Like he was MVP last season. He could be MVP again this year. But this season, it seems like something different was unlocked with him. And during the games when I'm watching on TV, I see him and T. Martin just communicating a lot. Part of that is because Monken's in the booth, but they do talk a lot when they're on the sideline. And that's who you spend most of your time with through the week is your position coach. And I just feel like Lamar has just developed really good under T. Martin. And we might lose T. Martin, considering he might get some offensive coordinator considerations around the league. So he's definitely coach of the year for me because he's done a great job with Lamar.
And it's crazy. He was going to be our offensive coordinator before we got Todd Monken. Yeah, him and Keith Williams were like the two front runner guys. He liked to hide within. But I guess
Hmm.
Todd Monken resume was just too good, two back to back national champions. So
Hmm.
yeah, and like I say, he should have never been coaching receivers. He played quarterback. Not saying that you can't, but he's going to have a
Yeah.
more dialect with the quarterback because he played the position and was a national champion and all that. So yeah, that I agree with you and Falls on that. But I just think Todd Monken, his scheme and all that, and the things he put in, like man, he like this offense on a whole nother level. Man. It's looking like the '99 Rams.
The only thing that I'm still looking for, and maybe is more to unlock with this offense, is just utilizing the tight ends more than we have. Because I really do feel like we have dynamic tight ends where you could have them both out on the field more than what we've seen. Um, but how can you complain when you have the number one offense? You know what I mean? So I ain't mad at Monken at all. I like him.
I actually like the tight ends will get there, but remember we was all saying the receivers need to get developed, the homegrown guys that we drafted, and here we are. They both balling. So
Mhm.
it's a blessing.
I just don't like when you look at other teams and you see other teams offensively just be so many guys be involved with the offense. Like that's what I kind of used to envy when I would watch teams. I feel like the Ravens have the ability to do that. And we see games when everybody gets some. Like those are the games we say was our favorite games, offensively when everybody on the offense touches the ball. It's just that if everybody like when I saw this about the Lions and I was like, wow, four players on their offense got 1,000 yards. I ain't never, and they said that's the first time in NFL history. I was like, it gotta be because I ain't never heard it.
Two receivers. I think the only team that came close to that was like the Rams or somebody.
I when I seen it, I was like, what the hell? But yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, we wanted Bateman and all of them to everybody to step up and do their thing, but when you got a weapon, particularly like likely, like you can't just not use him because he's there. Like I said, I feel like Bateman likely and
I think like 7 touchdowns, so he's getting his fair share for a number 2 tight end.
oh yeah, because and it goes back to what I said. Likely Bateman and Mark Andrews have been utilized more in the red zone in recent weeks, which is beneficial because they're scoring touchdowns. So I ain't mad at it, but it wouldn't hurt just to add something extra offensively to, in my opinion.
No, you can never go.
Um, and who would you give defensive player of the year to?
Kyle Van Noy. I love Kyle Hamilton. Man, the big Gay came on strong. Rowe was balling with all tackles, mauling. But Kyle Van Noy.
Double-digit sacks for the first time in his career. Can't be mad at that. I'm going Marlon Humphrey. I just want to say I'm really really proud of Marlon Humphrey. Like you know, people have complained. Even was talking about him early in the season, like not wanting him to be gone from the team. I feel like Mullen has shown true leadership this season more than any other season than he's ever had in Baltimore. Most times if you're doing it right, becoming a parent matures you in a way. And we found out that he had his first child this year, and that might play the part in the leadership that we saw from him because when he spoke out after that Bengals game, like that's when I knew he was a leader on defense. And he showed up every week. He was a leader by example as well. He was out there doing a thing. And he addressed the team as such. When you address them like that publicly to the media, I mean, you know what he's probably doing behind closed doors. And you need that accountability from your leaders on your team. And I feel like defensively, we talked about like when Roquan came, how it changed the defense, and we needed a leader like that. We still need a leader like that, but I'm proud to see Mullen grow into that because he wasn't always that guy. But this season, I feel like Mullen has been a leader defensively.
I agree. And to piggyback off that little notion you just said,
Mm-hmm.
funny fans wanted. Just listen to this. Fans wanted the left tackle gone,
Mm-hmm.
number 1 tight end gone, and your number 1 corner gone. I get holding players accountable. Me and Greg go back. Greg and Purnell, shout out there. We go back and forth about that. I get that. I'm all for that. Nobody's above, critiquing, but it's one
Mm-hmm.
thing to say, hey, we're gonna get them completely gone. That hurts your football team. It hurts your
Right.
football team. Like I said, now you rely on Likely, Nick Wiggins, and Patrick McCarry to now fill those roles, and especially at left tackle. Lord knows, yeah. So yeah,
I
I'm glad.
think fans get like that when they have, just high expectations. And to me, it just be premature. We talked about it this season. We weren't on that train of getting rid of any of those guys. Because for me, I feel like kind of like when we was talking about the whole Deontay Johnson thing, it's like when you're here and you put in work and you kind of earn the right to do certain things. And so I never felt like they should have been benched, but I'm glad they were able to show everybody, what they really could bring to the team. And last but not least, who is your Ravens MVP for the season?
Because I want this person to win league MVP. I'm gonna be a little different. I'm gonna
Hmm.
go because he opened up a lot for this offense. So yeah, more Derrick Henry. Only because I want Lamar to win the league MVP.
I went back and forth with this, with it being Lamar and Derrick Henry, Lamar, Derrick Henry, because like you just said, Derrick Henry, he opened up a lot offensively. Um, I'm gonna go Lamar because of the historic season that he had. You know, this is the best we've ever seen him. He played better this season than he played in his 2 MVP seasons before.
No question.
Talk about a level of maturation, like with Marlon Humphrey. I see that in Lamar this season as well. Yeah, but Derrick Henry for sure. Like that's not a bad pick because, like you said, he did open up a lot. We've never had a running back like that.
I'm gonna cheat the system, not to cut you off. I'm gonna do co-rate MVP and go Lamar and Derrick Henry.
You can do that. Look, these your picks. But no, they're great picks. I mean, overall, the guys had a good season, you know?
Yeah, like the reason I took Van Noy over Marlon Humphrey's going to be an All-Pro. He's going to be went to the going as a Pro Bowler, and he might get some Defensive Player of the Year consideration. Kyle Van Noy might not get none of that, so that's why I chose him for that.
And you know who else could have been in consideration or could be Coach of the Year? Chuck Smith.
Oh, no doubt. He got them boys.
Because Oweh and Kyle Van Noy, double-digit sacks. That's part of the team that we was concerned about losing Clowney. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then we ended up still being second and six.
Yeah.
So
first time and since Suggs and Demonville, we had 2 guys double digits. So yeah, definitely.
So he could easily be Coach of the Year as well. Position coaches are very important. That's why that was part of my thing with the issues we had on defense this season. I was like, we got to still take into account all of the coaches we lost, not just the defensive coordinator, because we lost position coaches to become defensive coordinators other places, and that changes things as well. So shout out to all the coaches, position coaches, coordinators, John Harbaugh, everybody, because they all played a part in turning things around this season.
Agreed.
All right, so we always do, position grades after every game. Justin, give me your grade for the whole season for the Ravens, 2024. What's your grade for the season?
Hey, only and we didn't get A+. So we gotta go win the Super Bowl. So right now, A.
So I'm gonna give him a B, and it's because I'm still factoring in, games that we lost early on. Starting 0-2 was not the ideal at all. We turned it around quickly. Like I said, we could have easily been 0-5, but we stuck together, did what we had to do. Ended up being 3-2. Even went on a little. I was about to say, even went on a little win streak. Came across some little road bumps. Playing division games. Both of the Bengals games, they were shootouts. Sometimes you're going to be in games like that. And at the time, both our defenses was bad. Theirs was bad. Ours was bad. But after that Bengals game, the second Bengals game, after a win, it's like our defense turned it around. We've been different ever since. Lamar had his worst game against the Steelers. Could have played better against the Eagles, but since then he's been lights out. Like I said, this is his best season overall. So I'm giving him a B because I do feel like there were some issues early on, but the fact that they all weathered the storm and figured it out, and we ended up being 12-5 and won the AFC North, and after starting 0-2 and the tough schedule we had this season, like it could have been a lot worse. So I'm giving these guys a B. They did a really good job staying focused on what the goal. And like Harbaugh always say, the goal is to go 1-0. If you look at it on a week-to-week basis, like that should be your mindset. Just not looking at what happened here, what happened there. But overall, it was a good season. So I'll give them a B.
That's a fair. When all that's considered, that's a fair grade. I just look at it. I said 13-4, 12-5. I didn't. I know nobody didn't know you didn't. But I just knew we had some type of ups and downs in this way. So,
And you know what's good about this season is we overcame a lot of things that people said was issues. Ravens are down, or have a 10-point lead and lose the game, or Ravens can't come back. Like we've come back, we've held leads. We have to play the Steelers again this week, but Lamar played one of his best games this season against the Steelers, and that's been a struggle for him. So it's like we overcame a lot this year. Been having to bench guys, moving that doesn't always work out for a lot of teams, moving guys around. But one thing that we did talk about before the season started was the depth. And when you're able to move guys in and out and move guys around like that, that goes to your depth. So again, shout out to John Harbaugh because you're picking the right guys to be on a team. So when we need them to step in, they're doing just that. So guys had a good season overall for real.
This person, I love you always. KK said B+. All right, not too we're all
not the same. Yeah. So I kind of mentioned it. We have our playoff game this Saturday against the Steelers. It'll be third time this season playing against them, and we'll do the preview on Thursday to get into that game and everything. But we mentioned it earlier. We did lose Zay Flowers in this game against the Browns. Now we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if he's playing yet. They say day to day, week to week, whatever it may be. But I want to ask you, if Zay Flowers can't play, do you think that's going to hinder us offensively against the Steelers?
I don't think so too much, and not to say it's not important. He's out there, I was a receiver, only because he's not our leader in touchdowns.
Hmm.
The leader in touchdowns is still playing. Bateman, Andrews, likely. Like I said, then of course you're gonna run that football with Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell now. Now he feel like now his legs are getting on him. And like I
Hmm.
said, I think Aguilar should be back. You still got Tyler Wallace, you still got Taz Walker, so you still have guys that's capable of making plays.
Hmm.
So I think we'll be okay. Because it was games he did not have like the Buffalo game. He had like 2 receptions, I think, and we still beat the brakes off him. So like you said, that's good that with Lamar spread the ball around. So and Houston, same thing. Houston, neither one of them had a lot of receptions. Like this is Andrews, and then we killed him with Derrick Henry and Lamar and all that. So we have more than enough guys that can make plays. So I think we'll be okay. But if you ask me, I think he gonna go out there and play. I don't see him missing a playoff game. If it ain't broken, that motherfucker gonna probably put an ankle brace on and say, hey, even if he had 75, 80, he playing. I just can't see the way how Zay built missing a playoff. I just can't see it.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said. And it's not to dismiss or discredit Zay. I mean, please, Zay, he was one of the ones balling in the AFC Championship last season. He was doing everything to help us win. And when he did make his mistake, I didn't get, I wasn't mad at him because he was trying. You know what I mean? He was young. He
I
was
was
a
more
rookie.
mad
Like,
about the penalty than that.
hmm?
The Taunton penalty. I was more mad at for the Taunton penalty than that. Actual. That was
Oh,
kind of a play by Snead.
yeah.
Remember, he got a
But yeah,
Taunton penalty before that. That would have put us like right on the tip.
yeah, I remember. And that too goes with maturity. Like you hate to have stuff like that happen in big moments like that. But yeah, not excusing it. You gotta learn from it. That's all you can do is learn from it. But like you said, I don't think he's necessarily gonna hinder us because we have had games this season where he did make an impact and we still won. Some of Lamar's best games is when everybody else gets involved. I just spoke about wanting to see more from Likely. So it's not like we don't have guys that can get in and make plays and make big plays. So yeah, I don't see it hindering us at all offensively. Of course, we would love him to be out there. If he does play, I hope that he doesn't hurt himself anymore. If I was like, you kind of gotta talk to the doctors and probably see how the player feel. Like if they would have said it's more of a pain management thing, like how much pain he can handle, then I might lean towards saying he would play. But I don't really know how, what is it? Is it sprain? I don't know what happened to his knee. And when no contact injuries happen, that kind of be the worst kind of have. So I'm kind of on the side of don't play because if we win this game, we're gonna need you against the Bills, Chiefs, or whoever would be the next opponent. But if he does play, I'm not gonna be mad because, like you say, it does. Like he probably want to be out there. So
And
it
he
is
got
what it is.
he saw his teammate, same position, have a boot on all week, come out and play. So
Yeah.
so that might give him a little itchy. Like I said, then you seen guys like T.O. play on a broken fibula and had a
And the
great game.
Super Bowl though.
Yeah, playoff games, the stakes just as high. We got to win the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. So, like I said, me personally, if that motherfucker ain't broke, I see him putting an ankle brace on, icing that thing up, and at least if not, even if he only 75, at least going out there, at least playing, at least if nothing else, be a decoy. I just can't see him saying, "Yeah, I ain't playing." Especially if it
Hmm.
and if he got up with his own power, so that shows this is not as bad as we probably initially thought. So,
Hmm. But that's it.
great show, Shannon. Great topics. Thursday, we're gonna do our preview. Show probably definitely gonna be longer because David will be on here. Our guy Trippy Kicker will be back on here. He was on here last year to preview the Texans game with us. We had fun with him. I've known him for almost close to 30 years. That's a real good friend of mine. So he'll be on here, so we're gonna chop it up. All right, go ahead, Shannon. Any closing remarks?
I'm gonna just keep it short. I'm excited for the playoff game on Saturday. Can't wait to do the preview on Thursday. Everything that we talked about wanting to do in the off season is still right in front of us. it's kind of reminiscent of all the other Super Bowl runs that we've had when the things didn't go right in the season, but we figured it out a way in the playoffs. I hope that stands true this year as well. And we're primed. Like I said, we like adversity builds character, and we dealt with a lot of adversity this season. So let's see them put their best foot forward this weekend.
Yeah, I could be too long as well. I was saying most of the stuff Thursday, but yeah, the Steelers, man, this is the fourth time that we're playing them in the postseason. Crazy thing about it, 2001, 2008, 2014. Now, up a 3-1 in Pittsburgh. This is the first time we're playing them at home in the playoffs, and they're on a downslide too. So yeah, everybody kept asking who would you want, the Chargers, Steelers. Everybody had mixed opinions because of they beat us 8 out of 10. But like you said, Shannon, it comes with context. So I was like, they look like crap right now. So give me the Steelers. I don't want a hot Justin Herbert come in because you gotta think Jim Harbaugh is going to beat his brother soon. So why would you want that to be this week? You know what I mean? No. Give me that struggle and that. I don't give a shit about that 8 out of 10. Like you said, it's a lot of context playing to that. But that's all I got.
All right.
Well, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. 20 people, 4 people tuned in. Oh, that's a good job right there.
That's dope. Yeah.
So we'll be here Thursday, same bad time, bad channel. Make sure y'all trade. You know what it stands for. Talking Ravens all day, every day. I'm your host, Justin P. And my MVP, Billion Dollar co-host, Miss Shannon Fitch. We'll see y'all Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. You're out.
Bye, Justin.
Yeah.